our family is a little strange, but we love cemeteries.
Yes,
And
yes.
I've always loved the
Here I get
cemetery.
so excited.
Yes, I love a cemetery. Welcome to the Cookie Bookie Club. We are all together here in Mary
Yes.
Kate's cute apartment on a cute couch.
Yes, with a
And
comfy couch.
yes, we're super excited to talk about our book club book, which is Stiff. It is a nonfiction, lots to talk about, and we're super excited to start eating these cookies.
Yeah, I'm starving.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have a couple different cookies.
Well, more than a couple.
Yes,
From a couple different cookie places.
Yes.
yes, and they
Nice.
all look delicious. They're
Yes.
local to Mary Kate's apartment in Chicago.
Mhm.
Yes. We have Crave, which is a chain, but there's one in Chicago. They look good. Scrumptious.
Mhm.
We have a chocolate chip. We have a like Brooklyn brownie blackout cookie. The Flintstone, which looks like Fruity Pebbles.
Oh,
Yummy.
okay.
And then we have Better Than XXX, which I think you can guess what word they are replacing. I don't know what's on that one, but
Are you talking about this one?
yeah.
That
Ooh, it
looks
looks
so
like a
good.
caramely.
It looks salted caramel and maybe the coconut.
Okay.
Whatever. And
Yeah.
then you got the other cookies.
Yep, from Levain Bakery, spelled Levain. And we got a Mother's Day tin full of,
Oh,
yeah,
cute.
it's called like double chip cookie, I think.
Looks good.
And then like a chocolate chip walnut, a dark chocolate, like double chocolate one. There's like a peanut butter one and a coconut one and a lemon one and a carrot cake one.
Wow.
Okay, so
Which one is who trying? I'm trying the chocolate chip from Crave. I think I'll do.
yeah, we've got to eat our cookies before we start talking about all the cadavers.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
starving anyway. So I'm gonna take a classic chocolate chip from Crave.
Oh my
It's
God.
like melted in the middle.
Wow. It looks
Very
like they
nice.
just made it.
It's fresh. And then you guys grab what
And
you
who
want.
is this from Crave too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I'll try a Crave one. I'll do chocolate.
Yeah, that's the Brooklyn brownie.
Oh yeah, that basically just looks like a brownie.
And I've been staring at this one the whole time.
This is really good. This tastes like cookie dough,
Mm.
which is how I prefer my cookies to be not all the way baked.
Yeah, the brownie one tastes like a brownie. It's yummy.
Wow.
How's the Better Than XXX? Mom,
Very good.
what is it?
I don't know.
All right.
Let me try. Let me see.
It has like whipped cream on the top. And the bottom tastes like a chocolate cookie.
Yeah, they're very soft, so
Yeah,
they're
that's
similar to
nice.
crumble.
But not as like, I think they're better than crumble.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a toffee and salted caramel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. I like that one.
Okay.
The Better Than XXX.
That's very good.
All right, so that's Crave.
Yeah.
No one tried the Flintstone one.
No,
I've been looking at it though the whole time.
I'll try a little bit of.
Okay, so give me a little bit too.
Oh,
Please.
got some white chocolate chips.
Oh, thank
Ooh,
you.
that's nice. Yeah, give me a little piece too.
Yeah.
Mmm.
What's the top though?
Mmm.
Is it like
It's delicious.
is it like a cream cheese
That's
icing?
what I'm hoping it's not.
Yeah.
Not that.
I love the frosting on the Better Than
Oh
X.
my God. This is even better than the triple X.
Oh, it's cream cheese.
Yeah.
No way.
You got it?
No, try it. It's not.
I did.
It's not.
So either that or like a really salty buttercream. But that does taste like the cereal.
Mm-hmm. It says vanilla cream cheese frosting.
Oh, gosh, I was wrong.
Oh gosh, I was wrong. You should have doubled down.
Yeah, like violently.
I think I tasted just the vanilla.
hmm Yeah, I mean if you're not a huge fan of cream cheese frosting, it's not like super thick like cream cheese frosting, but I can taste it.
Because I always like carrot cakes,
Mm-hmm.
and that I think of a cream cheese.
Speaking of, okay, so this is the carrot cake cookie from
Levain or Levain or Levain?
Levain.
Levain. I want to try the chocolate one from Levain.
This one is also like soft.
I think all of them are kind of soft because they're like almost just, well, they're cakey.
This one is a little bit more crunch. Yeah. I think you would like the carrot cake one.
Who, Mary Kate?
No, she just
No.
said mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
And because there's like walnuts and stuff, so I know
Mhm.
Mary Kate won't like it.
Yeah. What's in the brownie? Is there any surprise nuts in the brownie? Okay.
No, it's just a double chocolate chip.
Okay, yeah. It tastes like brownie.
Oh, okay.
Tastes like what?
A brownie?
I do want to try the lemon.
Okay.
I love a lemon cookie.
Yeah, same here.
One big difference.
Those don't look like I had envisioned them.
Yeah. Well, and they don't have frosting.
Mm-hmm. They're like a little more like scone-y.
Yeah, actually,
Which is
Gotcha.
nice.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll take the other here. Thanks.
Tiny piece of that.
That's good.
They're scone.
Oh yeah, that's good. But that, yeah, it does give scone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Crave cookies are definitely more like
Cookies.
moist.
Yeah, these go good with coffee. I feel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank God we ate that. I'm so hungry.
Mhm.
I was.
And I feel like you could have them for breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can have cookies for breakfast.
Yeah, I am currently having these for breakfast. So.
Okay. So let's get started on our book. So our pick was Stiff by Mary Roach. We love a Mary.
We do love a Mary.
And it was written in 2003, which actually I didn't realize when we had picked it that it was, that old, over 20 years. But she did write a new epilogue with this book to kind of address some of the changes that have since happened.
Okay.
I don't know if it had that on the, or you know what?
On the audiobook.
I think I skipped it.
Oh, skipping an epilogue, rule number 23.
I know. I know. Okay.
We'll start with kind of like overall thoughts. Like, first of all, I feel like I didn't do a ton of research. I know, Mom, you said that you were like stopping and looking stuff up. I felt like I was worried to Google things with this book because it's like, oh, what do you do with dead bodies? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't want that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
on my
yes,
search history.
Yeah.
But yeah, so overall thoughts. What did you ladies think?
Well, I think in the first chapter or something, look back to see when it was written.
Oh my.
So I was surprised also that it was in 2003. And I think because she alluded to an actual like year, and I'm like, oh, why would, so it must have been 2001.
Okay.
Yeah, because in my mind, I went to September 11th.
Yeah.
And so then I looked to see when the book was written, and it was 2003. And that surprised me because when we picked this book, it was right up there with like the new books. We didn't have to go hunting for this.
No.
No,
It was in
she found it.
Yeah, it was in the medical sciences section.
Oh yeah, I didn't go there.
It was brought to you when we went through that.
You didn't have to go looking, but
So, but I felt like it was, and to have so many copies there at this time,
that's true.
Fair.
But I have been enjoying the book, as you both know. I did not finish.
That's so classic book club, though.
That's what I felt.
Yeah.
I felt that every book club has at least one person who doesn't finish.
Yeah, and at least with this one, it's not like there's no real spoilers.
Right.
And anybody can, I feel like, listen to this and they can still go out and read the book if they want to later. Because there's a lot of information in this book, but also we just won't be able to replicate the way that the writer writes. Is like, we keep trying to find a book that is light. And I feel like this is the only book that I was surprised that it wasn't so dark.
Yes, and I thought she's funny. I thought she was really funny. I have been quoting a lot to my coworkers and to Grandma and Grandpa. And
like what?
Well, especially with the plane, that the best. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to read it. I've been reading it to everybody, so I might as well go ahead and read it.
Yeah, might as well.
Oh, here it is. Okay. So not only did I underline it, but I also used
I've said that too.
the highlighter. And I have told so many people this, and she says it best.
Mhm.
Okay. So she said, here is the secret to surviving one of these crashes. And we're talking about airline crashes. Be male. In a 1970 Civil Aeromedical Institute study of 3 crashes involving emergency evacuations, the most prominent factor influencing survival was gender, followed closely by proximity to exit. Adult males were by far the most likely to get out alive. Why? Presumably because they pushed everyone else out of the way.
Yeah.
I was like shocked.
Yeah. So I also, we'll talk about it when we get to that chapter
Okay.
because I have things to say about that too.
Okay.
Okay. So overall, Mary Kate, what were your thoughts?
So for me personally,
This doesn't sound like it's going too high.
it didn't stick in my brain a lot. Now I did listen to the audiobook,
Okay.
and usually when I listen to the audiobook, like the way I have it set up, because I listen to it as I drive, I like to it helps me engage more if I can see it up there, and I could not keep it up there because this cover is different than what it used to be. It used to
Oh.
just be 2 feet.
Oh,
The bottom of the
yeah.
feet, and then it's cut out.
Oh, gotcha.
And every time I saw it, I'd be like, oh, and it just I hated it. And then I don't know. I think because it's nonfiction, it just didn't stick in my head. So I think this is more of a physical read than an audiobook read. But I had
I could see that. And
Yeah.
like Sandra had said earlier, because this is, so I used to underline my books all the time. And then I quit doing that just in case I was giving them away, or if I would try to resell them. I quit doing that. Then I found tabs and I started using tabs. But then I'd have to kind of remember what it was that I tabbed, you know. So this book took me back to also underlining.
Yeah. I did a lot of that too.
And highlighting, which this is the first time I've done that in a while. And I didn't, and I think it stuck in my brain more because I was highlighting.
yeah.
And then I was looking up, she would refer to a certain person. I would look that person up.
Yeah.
I didn't. I only did that for a couple things. I do feel like, because I also started to listen to this on Audible, and I was enjoying it, but I felt like the same thing that it wasn't, knowing that we were going to talk about it, I then went back and started from the beginning so then I could underline and but it is so packed with information, but the way that she talks about it is at such a conversational level. And so I feel like there's so much that we won't say in this podcast about it just because there's so much. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, but I also like the medical sciences and everything.
Well, the funny thing was yesterday I ended up going to a McDonald's somewhere in this neighborhood because because I picked up my bib for the race and everything. And there was like a mom and her 2 daughters that came in, and they were right ahead of me. And
You went inside the McDonald's?
yes, I had to go to the bathroom too.
Oh my God. You were right around here and you didn't
Well, I didn't know I was right around here until this morning. So anyway, I ended up where I was sitting at, they had a big table there. So everybody kind of waiting for their food was sitting at the table. So I, pulled out my book and was reading the book. And one of the daughters asked me, "Oh, what are you reading?"
Oh.
So, yeah, exactly. So I was like,
And the title Stiff could go a couple.
well, I pick it up and I tell her and look at the mother kind of like for permission
Yeah.
to tell her it's about what happens when you will your body to science,
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was so sweet because then when we all got our food, turns out they were parked right next to me.
Oh,
And so she's like, "Hey, lady, bye."
oh, hey, lady.
Yeah.
Bye, lady.
Yeah. So, but I think that's a wonderful thing about books too. Is
Mhm.
Yeah,
here's,
that's my favorite part.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I felt funny kind of saying it's about dead bodies,
Yeah.
but I was so glad that she reached out and asked.
Yeah. Well, so I heard about this book because I was in an English class working with a student, and the English teacher will sometimes like pick out a book and pitch it to the students. And this was one that she pitched to the students, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds interesting." So that's the only way that I feel like I would have heard about it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it's a book about what can happen to your body after you die, whether you will it to science or, they talk about a lot of different things. And what I like about how it's set up is it's like chapter by chapter. So when we talk about it, we'll go through each chapter and kind of our reflections on it. And also because once it came to the cannibalism chapter, I was kind of like,
Oh,
I went through that one fast.
so that one I haven't gotten to.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So I feel like if I don't have a squeamish stomach, but like if somebody did, then they could kind of be like, yeah, I don't think I want to know anything about cannibalism. I'll just skip to the next
yeah,
one.
yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah. Okay, so we start with the introduction. And there's a couple quotes so one was where she said, "Death, it doesn't have to be boring." And I just kind of like that because yeah, you just think, okay, you die, you go on the ground, like whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. So I feel like I learned so much about, and I
Yes.
changed what I want to do
Oh, really?
when I die because of this book. So,
Well, she said it's not up to you.
well, yeah. Yeah, we'll
That
talk
was
about that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But anyway, one of the things she says is that many people will read this book and find it disrespectful. So I was curious whether you guys thought it was disrespectful.
Not at all.
No,
Not at
I
all.
don't know how it would be.
And I like how she went back to in ancient times or just even the 17 and 1800s about how and the cultural aspects.
Mm-hmm.
And because Australia, you can't use any cadavers at all
Right.
whatsoever. And so that was kind of, I had always heard the term body snatchers,
Yeah.
but I didn't know what it was until
You
this
didn't?
book. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize they were just kind of selling and reselling the same
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So a couple other things in the introduction. She said death makes us helplessly polite, and that kind of stuck out to me too. Just like, you don't know what to do, I feel like, with death. Like you're just trying to, I don't know, say the right thing, do the right thing. And it is like so a big part of our culture to be respectful to the dead. And so I feel like that's part of what people might have a problem with. It's a very culturally,
Okay.
And can I also say, because that brought up, because, it's not in the book, but when you talk about respectful, okay, so up in Chicago, I think, when funeral processions go by, it's such a pain. You're trying to get somewhere, it's like, I've even seen people cut into them to get across.
yeah.
When Aunt Sherry passed away down in Kentucky, not only did people pull over, a lot of them got out of the car and stood,
Yeah.
and I was so in awe of that. And I wish everybody could do that, but
Nobody get
so
anywhere in
there's
Chicago.
yeah, so
Well,
there,
also, I just imagine getting out and be like, oh, like, it really don't take so long. The whole thing would be gone by the time I
Yeah.
was able to inch out.
so yeah, I like the idea of respect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the other thing about the introduction that I wrote down was she said that people were like, Mary is quirky, but is she okay? Like when she was writing this book.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And but what I did because when she was trying to figure out this was her first book. She felt like everybody had written about all the other subjects and she was trying to kind of find like the the like path where nobody has gone. And that's kind of because a lot of people that write about the sciences majored in some sort of biology something, and she
Okay.
didn't.
Okay.
And but she really just writes about science and everything now. So anyway, thought that was interesting.
Can I say something about the respect thing?
Yes.
So I just read I Who Have Never Known Men, and it's like this dystopian thing where like all these women are like basically you don't know where they are, but it's basically like an alien planet is what you're assuming. And they like end up escaping their captors, and they like create their own kind of like village that they're living in. And one of the like girls who was really young when they like got captured like didn't know about death, and so they like had to like teach her. And even in this like alien world, they still were like, okay, we need to like do this respectful, and like they still like buried the women and stuff even though they were trying to survive in this weird place. So I just think that's like a nice little play on it.
Yeah.
Showed up in other books.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all.
there's a few things in this book that um is like reference to other books we've talked about that
Oh, okay.
yeah, when they
Like
come
what?
up. Okay, so we start the first chapter is before I talk about each chapter, I had like it took me a while with the pictures. So in the book, because
Okay,
obviously
I
the
didn't see them.
audiobook,
Yeah.
yeah, there you don't hear any pictures. Before each chapter, there's a photo, and there's no like reference, there's no caption or
Right.
anything, and so it just kind of took me a while to put together that it just has something to do with the chapter you're about to read.
That was a cannibalism photo.
The
Jeffrey
dumpling,
Dahmer?
the dumpling, because
Oh,
they talk about
yes.
humans and dumplings.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so the first chapter is a head is a terrible thing to waste, but it's a picture of like just a really pretty girl from like the 50s or 60s. Because then right away we learn that it opens up with this scene where she's in the room with all of these doctors, and there's a head on every
Yeah.
station. And
In one of those turkey baster paintings.
yes,
Yes.
yes. And they're practicing
Nose
Plastic
jobs.
surgery.
facelifts. Yeah.
Faceless and
Any
nose
kind of
jobs, right?
any
Yeah.
kind of plastic surgery, I think.
Yeah, because I was just like, this is the only way I'm gonna be able to get plastic surgery.
Oh, please.
Well,
Put your
also
head on
just
this
like
You don't need it though, so
but
don't
okay, whatever. But like
Yeah.
you like glow up after you die, like that would
Yeah.
kind of suck. I mean, like my dead self is hotter than
I
my
know.
living.
I'm like, oh my
Yeah, but you
gosh.
don't have a body.
And you don't have to pay for it, so it's like
Yeah.
only. I'm like, well, that's how I'm gonna have plastic surgery.
Right.
So I didn't know about the cannibalism chapter because I thought that was such a big bang and
Yes.
you know, like
You're in it now.
Yeah,
You like it or you don't.
yeah.
You can't handle this chapter.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it does get worse. Yeah. So yeah, I just liked like right away I liked how she was talking about they're on these like pastel linens, and it was like they were trying to make this aesthetically pleasing.
Yes.
And I just had never thought of, oh, they do this. You know,
Yeah.
they chop off the head and they practice plastic surgery. And I loved how there was like this other lady that she didn't really get along with.
Yes.
And so there was
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of what I liked was every chapter it seemed like there was somebody introduced that was
Oh,
like
yes. Mhm.
super interesting. I was like, how
Yes.
do you get this job?
Yes.
Like, how do you land in this role? And it was just really kind
Like
of
cutting the
fun.
heads off of
Yes,
cadavers.
because
I
that's
mean,
what she did was cut
yeah.
the heads off.
Which
Yeah, so-
had always reminded me because there was a guy who used to come into the restaurant, you know, and he would suck these bears down really fast. And one time I finally asked him, so he worked at Tasty Dog.
Okay.
So
Oh,
that was
love tasted all.
yes.
All right,
That was one of his jobs. But then on the side, he said he would crack the chickens' necks, you know, like
Oh,
and because they have to do it, you know. And I thought, I mean, somebody's got to do it, but oh my gosh, what a job to have.
You know what? That reminds me of It's a Simple Life.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
the grannies walking around with the dead chicken, and Paris and Nicole are like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I think she says something in the book about how, we don't have a problem eating the hamburger,
Yes.
but
Yes.
we don't really want
Yes.
to know about what happens.
Yes.
No,
And
I
that's
know
even with the
Yeah.
cadavers. They said it
Right.
was easier to deal with just like an arm or a leg
Yeah.
instead of the whole body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I went to school for anatomy, I was lucky enough to test out of the cadaver lab, but that was a part of our anatomy class. But
How did
I
you
feel
test out?
I'm just that smart. I took another anatomy class when I transferred over, and we didn't need to do cadavers. So then when I got to the school I graduated from, I didn't have to do the cadaver lab.
Oh, I see.
I just had to do there's anatomy 1 and then anatomy 2. But yeah, so I got to test out of that, but I feel like I would have heard if it was just body parts,
Yeah.
but I feel like anatomy you have to have the full body. So I think they'd had the full body.
Yeah. So, well, we might as well just go right into the next chapter, which is all about anatomy and the crimes of anatomy, body snatching, early dissection. So yeah, so traditionally they do use whole cadavers for anatomy classes. One of the things she says in the epilogue, because in the chapter she talks about how they're moving away from that now with well, at the time,
Mm-hmm.
because of all of the advances in
Obviously didn't
computers.
move that fast
Right.
because
Well, but now then there was like a dip in all of it, the kids testing and everything, so they brought it back.
oh, okay.
So for a little bit it was like
Oh,
phasing out,
okay.
but then they were like, oh, they're not like learning enough, so they brought it back.
Oh.
I just
Oh,
my notes are here.
what did you guys dissect in school?
Oh, a cow's eye. Um,
That
was like the big one.
I also did cow's eye.
Did you? Now, what school did you do it in? Trinity?
Whittier.
I did a Trinity. You did a Whittier?
Yeah. 5th
That's
grade.
crazy. I did in Trinity. And then I did a frog.
Yeah, Ellie did the frog, and I was surprised. I thought that she was gonna not like it, and she loved it, which I was kind of like,
Yeah. Did she actually do the dissecting or did she watch? Because
no,
cow's eye,
did it. It's squishy.
I watched.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did not because I youngest child it. I was like, oh my God, you're so good at this. Like, let me watch. Like, you're so brave.
Yeah.
I could never.
I just remember those big, huge fish eyes on Survivor
Okay.
a couple of seasons ago where they
That wasn't the question.
You didn't dodge that question. So have you ever dissected anything, Mom?
I think there was a frog a long time ago.
Sounds like a dream.
Yeah. And I don't know where, when, or if
Probably
it's...
Trinity.
No, I don't know if I was that old.
Or did you have to do it when you were in college?
Yeah.
Oh, no. College, no. Not at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I would remember college a little bit more. So
Okay.
that's why that's why I'm thinking I really don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
I remember doing a field trip where we went to some museum and we saw a brain and everything. And this was
Like the
middle
body
school.
museum?
I don't know, but
The
it was middle
human,
school.
what was that show called? That I went to. The where they had all the dissections and the
Oh, wow.
skeletons and there it was touring around for a long time.
Mhm.
And it was very, very interesting. We saw it at the Museum of Science and Industry. Greg and I did together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but I remember seeing like the brains and I just remember the smell.
Yeah. See, I feel like that was whatever I just said that I already forgot. Like the body museum
yeah.
or something. It was like, because I don't think they do it anymore because you see everything. And
Yeah.
so I think they were like for that age, maybe not,
Yeah.
because it was like hairy.
Yeah, I was like
see
surprised that
everything.
big.
Yeah.
Thinking back on it, I was surprised. But yeah, so I liked how when they talked about the different universities and them using the cadavers for anatomy and everything and how they would do the ceremony. And I thought
oh
that was
yes.
What was the
Yes.
ceremony? Nothing stuck in my head.
Oh my gosh. So they would have the cadavers that they would use in their class, and then they would have a ceremony to basically thank them for being a part of it, and like families were invited, and but it was like at that time it was just like it wasn't common practice to do that, but the writer had attended one and said that it moved a lot of people to tears, and like it was very sacred, and so they cared about having all of that respect within cadavers. And now that's more common practice.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Um, let's see what. Oh, I thought it was funny when, because they talk about trying to have all of the respect and everything, but then they do say how some of the girls were like giggling because the male parts were like enlarged, which they thought they didn't realize that that's just like a natural part of the embalming process that
Oh
happens.
my God.
But they were like, and I was like, that's so like
That's
what?
real.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. And so then we get to she kind of goes back in time and talks about before there were anatomy classes.
Yeah.
And oh my
This I'm very
gosh.
versed in.
Okay.
Because there's also, well, first of all, I just remember learning about it in school.
Uh-huh.
And then I learned about that, and I learned about the little the bell.
Yeah, so now
Oh yeah.
that I was going to bring up because the bell, I don't think it was in this book
Yeah, it was.
with the that one kind of smallpox or whatever, where so what would happen was whatever that disease was, you couldn't tell if the person was in a
Oh
coma
yeah.
or was dead.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think
they
it was the
would,
plague.
yeah, some kind of plague, pox, something. So they put them in the graves, and that was in Georgia, warm country or whatever. And so they would have a string to a bell on top. So if the person woke up in the grave, they would pull the string, ring the bell, and that's how you were saved by the bell. So
Yeah.
that the grave diggers would come back and get you out. But on this one, nobody was in a grave yet.
Right.
They were all in a big room, and there was a bell on their finger.
Yeah.
And then somebody would be in another room and hear it.
Yeah. Which is like, I cannot imagine having that job and then hearing the
Yeah.
bell and like creeping. Just
Yes.
because
Yeah.
they said it would happen often, but usually it was just like kind of natural
false.
post-mortem
Yes.
movements that happen.
And they were having a problem in Georgia because a breeze would come by.
Right. Yeah.
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 Oh my gosh.
But
Yeah.
personally, I like the Georgia one better. But
Okay.
I don't know if it's because I heard that one first or what, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they talk about how it was really hard to get cadavers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just not being common practice, not being like accepted at all back a long time ago, but also just sourcing one. So then you have like where they paid people to get freshly deceased bodies,
Yes.
and then it kind of turned into a situation which, Mom, I remember like a long time ago asking you like what would you like, would you donate your like
That's what I was trying to find the because they bring that up in here,
Yes.
how culturally, and I tagged it so I could say, see?
I know.
I did hear that, and I was
Yeah.
there's Mom.
Yes, let's see.
Because Mom used to say that like she didn't want to do organ donation and she didn't want to like, donate her body to science because she thought she would be on a list and they would come and find her and kill her to use her
Yes,
body.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I-
And she thought they wouldn't try as hard to save her. And
Yes.
yeah.
when it's like, if you're brain dead, you're brain dead.
Yeah.
Who's going to open the gates of heaven to some slob with his entrails all hanging out and dripping on the carpeting? So from the 16th century up until the passage of the Anatomy Act in 1836, the only cadavers legally available for dissection in Britain were those of executed murderers.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that fear came from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do kind of remember reading where it said that it was a cultural, like mainly it was religious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
but I
made
don't
me
know where it
worry
is.
about like, because there still are countries and religions that
Mhm.
don't believe in using cadavers,
Mhm.
and we can see in the book how much it does change the advancements in medicine. So it
Yes,
does make
yes.
me nervous to ever visit those. Like, what if I got sick in that country? Like, are those
Or
doctors
they might
gonna
go to
be?
school somewhere else.
Yeah, I hope
That
so.
might not.
But
I don't know.
the problem is too, is if they do like come to school here, I remember sitting in on this one lecture, and the problem was they were sending their children here to be taught, and then they were liking it here better, and then they were staying, so then
Yeah.
they weren't getting those kids back.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. And then they also, this chapter, they talk about basically because they didn't have the use of cadavers and everything was exploratory. Like that, how they found out was like, let's have surgery on somebody
Yes.
pre-anesthesia, just
Yes.
blindfold them.
Oh, okay. I did want to talk about this
Yeah.
because right before we started reading this, I was listening to It's Not Hysteria, which is a more recent book, but it's all about female anatomy.
Oh, yeah.
But they used to say, and this is trigger warning because it's sad, but they would experiment on slaves and like women and not do anesthesia and just like torture these women to like figure out the female anatomy. And then they would learn it on the black women who were slaves. And then once they perfected it, then they would be like, okay, we can do it on white women now and would use drugs. So like they didn't do it.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it was so hard to hear, and then also like, of course.
No, it wasn't even, I mean, yes, that happened, but I also remember Greg's mom talking to me,
Okay.
and she was having an issue, a female issue, and they shot something up there, and it burned. It burned so bad. And I can't remember now, but I remember hearing about that with other people. I mean, it was so archaic back
Yeah.
then, you know, and
They probably didn't ask her. They probably asked her
Right.
husband.
right,
Like,
right.
that's who
And
approves it.
you
Well,
know,
even
if
in the
they
book.
even asked, I think they just did it.
Right.
And, you know, and it was very, very, very painful.
Yeah.
Very painful.
Yeah, even in the book, she talks about how they would, with anesthesia, when that became invented, basically, if there was a female patient, they would have the doctors come in and practice doing a pap smear on her without.
Yes,
Oh,
I remember reading that.
so that's
That's what
comfortable.
sparked my brain.
Yeah.
I was reading before.
Yeah,
It's
have
just that they don't
everybody-
see women
Yeah.
as
Right.
humans. They see
Yes.
them as other cadavers. They're
well,
not
and I
humans.
learned that, and I wish I had written it down on here, but I didn't. But there is a specific case where it was an African American woman, and
Henrietta Lacks.
yes,
I read that book.
Oh,
Which one's
wow.
that one? What have I?
Yeah,
So they took, I believe she had
cervical
cancer,
cancer,
and they took her,
DNA.
yeah, like cells, you know, certain
Okay.
cells, and they kept growing them.
Yeah.
And usually if you, to this day, if you get, like a transplant of these cells, they originated from her.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
But they
so
never, like, nobody in her family knew that they did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yeah.
now only a couple years ago they.
But I don't think they even, you know, because I read the book,
Mhm.
and I think because it was just like these two doctors in their basement, it was like a husband and wife team. So they didn't even realize what they had, or because she ended up being phenomenal in that you could grow hers. Like, I don't think you could with anybody else. Like, it was such a breakthrough for cancer too.
Right.
But there was no, like, I mean, they
Once-
knew
yeah.
10 years ago. Like,
Right,
they, you know, they had to be forced to get
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, but science wouldn't be what it is today
without
without
it.
her.
Yeah.
And I'm
So-
sure they got a lot of like
Yeah. So
accolades. And
whatever-
that's how you pronounce it.
what-
Accolades. Yeah. Okay.
whatever they had shot up her, whatever, is what they shot up Grape's mouth.
Oh,
Yeah. So it was such a like common practice at the time.
wow. Yeah. Crazy. Okay, on to chapter 3.
Okay.
Okay, so
Oh, this is where it starts spacing out.
yeah, life after death. Okay, human decay and decomposition. This was bleh.
Yeah.
This was where we learned about all of the farms that they had of just like dead bodies everywhere, and they study. So okay,
Yes.
you can donate your body to science.
Yes.
You can specify what you don't want to do. Of course, you only know what you know about what you
Oh yeah.
don't
I
do.
remember her saying.
Okay, but if you just donate your body to science, you could end up as a head on a surgeon's table. You can end up in a field just decaying, and then people observing how a human body decays and like all the different elements that make it change.
Which is how CSI
Yeah.
knows how old the worms are
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I was just thinking this is the least I would hate to just be laying and decaying.
I would love that.
What?
Yeah, I would love
Just sunning.
Yeah, just sunbathing,
Yeah.
you know.
Uh,
I think that would be the most fun. I don't want a nose job.
What? I think, well, I found so far as I read the book, it seemed like people were more upset with the bullets and shooting at the cadaver.
oh yeah.
You know,
Well, that was bad too. I mean,
but
a lot
I
of the
don't
things
think
were
that
bad.
would be horrible, you
Just
know.
laying
You
around.
want to
and
be
rotting.
shot?
Well, I mean, you're already dead, so
Oh,
you know,
Might as well see what happens.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's, I think, and she mentions that. She's like, you're trying to have control over something, you're going to be dead. So,
Right, right. Well, and it's like either way, like no option is glamorous, but no matter which option, it's crazy the amount of change that happens because of it.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
Yeah.
so it's like
Mhm.
with
Like the airbags.
yeah, and with like just laying in a field, and then they develop the technology of like the sniff
Yes.
testing.
Yes.
It's like they know
Mhm.
how.
And
No.
I didn't know until then about the leaching into the ground.
Oh yeah,
And
because
so
the
they can,
picture is the Wicked Witch melting.
yes, yes.
Mhm.
And so it's like, that's how they can tell too if a body's been moved or not. It's how much is
Mhm.
leached into the soil.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, and it did make me think, okay, because they talk a lot about the smell of death. Okay.
Okay,
And
yes.
since we've been to that burning place and you've smelled, like, I feel like even if you've never smelled something dead before, I think there's something that we all know. Like, when you smell something, a dead human, you know it, whether you've smelled it before or not.
Mm.
And it made me think of Casey Anthony when her mom called the police and was like, it smells like there's been a dead body in the trunk.
Oh.
And you know, they never like could verify that, I don't think.
Oh,
But
wow.
I think the lawyer tried to say that it was old pizza or something. But I'm like, there's no way. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I trust that somebody's saying they smell a dead body. It's
Yeah.
probably a dead body.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. Because that's kind of like with, you can smell when a mouse or a
Yeah.
rat has died
Yes.
somewhere. That's that smell. The only one that I am having a hard time with now is skunk, because it's either pot or
Oh,
or
yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
only one I'm going with. Those two smell the same.
Yeah, that's funny. When
Yes.
the guy we meet in this chapter, his job I definitely wouldn't want. That was
What
funny.
is his?
Just like managing the dead bodies in the field and everything, because she asked him, does anything, like, have you ever gotten sick or like gotten grossed out by anything? And he's like, well, one time a fly flew into my throat.
Oh, yes, yes. I was like, oh.
But I'm like, no, that's the thing, you want
But you know, yeah, but you know it's been on a body. You know, and now it's flown into your throat. Yes, I agreed with him on that one. I was like, oh.
See, in my mind, when I'm decaying in the field, it's like lavender,
Oh
like
my
flowers all around me, and then I'm decaying it.
No,
And your belly's bloating now.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I keep remembering that.
yeah, they talk
And
about how
the
big your belly
skin
is.
slopping off.
Yeah.
Do your tatas get big as well? Do those
No, they would have flat.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That would be so funny if they did swell as well, and it's just like
Yeah. Oh my gosh, no. But I did try to like Google image search the places to see if you could
the
see.
places.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, like
No.
satellite.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
funny.
But I did find out that there is one in Carbondale. That's the closest one to here. Yeah.
Oh wow.
All right, next chapter.
Yeah, I think that's enough of that one. So the next one is Dead Man Driving. So all about the human crash test dummies and the ghastly necessary signs of impact tolerance.
Okay, and exit switch.
So now they did talk about the that's in the next chapter with
Yeah.
the airplane with the
Yep,
seatbelts.
yep. This is
Okay.
just the
Airbags.
Yep, and how they actually use humans to test the cars. This was one where I was like, also, I would not want to be a cadaver in a car accident just because it seems like your work is done so quickly. um,
But I did find it
crash over.
I did find it interesting that the steering wheel was the
Yes.
most the deadliest, and that it was aimed right at your heart.
Mhm.
And so I didn't even know anything about collapsible
Yeah.
steering wheels, and all that came from
Right.
cadaver research.
Even like the recess radio knobs. Like,
Yes.
because I didn't know radio knobs used to be dangerous in cars.
Yes.
And so this was one where I was like, wow, it is crazy how much advancements have come from using cadavers because they can do so much more than just
the crash
Right.
dummies.
And also how they show that they don't put the cadaver in a car and that they use all these different tools to mimic the impact and everything.
So your work is done quick, but it makes a lasting impact. So
Oh, yeah.
maybe you would like to be that.
Yes. Yeah.
It's over quickly, but then don't you love when work is over quickly and then it's home?
Yeah. Well, I did think this chapter was funny. Like a lot of the things she said was just like she talks about how she was there at the place where they're doing all this testing and they left her alone with the cadaver and she was like talking to it. She's like, this isn't as awkward as what I thought it would be. And she talks about how I can't remember if this she talks about how being around a dead person is surprisingly more comfortable than being around a dying one.
Yes.
I
that
agree
makes though.
sense.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because what are they going to do? Judge you?
Right. Okay. So some of the ways that that cadavers have made advances in automobile safety. So human cadavers have saved roughly 8,500 lives, and this was in 2003. I'm sure it's way more than that. Lap shoulder belts, airbags, dashboard padding, and recessed dashboard knobs, steering wheels used to be the most lethal item in cars' interior, and now obviously that's changed. So crazy.
Crazy. Right, Mom? Are you
Yep.
paying attention or are you
Yeah.
reading your book? She's trying to get it done.
Next,
Oh. Are you ready for the next chapter?
Yeah.
Okay. Beyond the Black Box. Okay. This one was about, I had never heard of this before. So it was a crash in 1996 Flight 800. Now, I watched an interview with the author.
Okay.
She talks about how this chapter, there's no humor because at the time of writing, it was still very fresh and the families she was very worried about the families reading this chapter. And in her initial, when she sent the manuscript to the publishing agency or her agent, they were like, why is the chapter about the airplanes not in here? And she wasn't gonna include it. And then they said, we think you should. And so she went back and wrote it, but she was very, very worried about coming across disrespectful to the families.
Which is, this was one of my most interesting chapters, I want to say. And especially here, I just opened it up and it said 73% had serious aortic tears.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was
That's interesting to read.
Yeah, it was all from this that they were able to figure out how things happened. But that's how they figured out there was no bomb on this airplane because everybody assumed there was a bomb.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
just kind of dissipated over the ocean. Now, this also makes me like, because you know how I'm afraid of
Yes,
flying.
yes,
Yeah,
And
yes,
especially over the ocean.
yes.
I feel the opposite because
Oh my God, I hate being
I have always been like in my head, the way I trick myself is, oh, good, I'm over the ocean. I can dive in.
Well, feet first. Feet first, they say.
They don't
Don't dive.
dive.
You got to go feet first.
No, in my mind, if I'm over land, if something malfunctions, they can kind of crash land it. But they
Oh,
can't do
gotcha.
that in the ocean.
Well, they can land on water if they
But
have enough
I don't
control.
know, really. I've never actually seen it in the ocean. I've never seen it.
Yeah, in
But
New York, that happened.
So
yeah, yeah,
the ocean?
it was a river.
Okay.
Oh my
But
God.
they did say because of the research, they found out it was sparks from frayed wiring that ignited fuel vapors, causing an explosion of one of the fuel tanks.
And did you tell that to your coworkers then, since it was electrical?
No.
Yeah.
Where you're like, guys, this is the importance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but she does say, and even though she said she didn't have humor in this, I do still see her humor
Yeah.
because she said, generally speaking, people falling from planes have booked their final flight.
Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah, it's dark humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me see. Yeah, there were 230 souls on board. Um, a high school French class.
see, I think I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And they were like from a pretty small town in Pennsylvania. So I was like, that's like so devastating for the
Yeah.
community. There was, okay, so this is the interesting things that this is where I looked Step Up. Was
Okay.
more like the passengers.
Yeah.
So there was some notable people. There was a fashion designer, and she was supposed to be, I don't know if it was he or she, but a fashion designer, and they were supposed to be with a model. The model backed out at the last minute.
That kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
I know.
Crazy.
But
Yes.
she died a month later. Yes.
Oh my God, Final Destination.
I know, because there was a stalker, and that's what I thought was a Final Destination. That's
Wow.
crazy. There was an ABC sports producer on board with his family. He was covering the Tour de France, and he had just been let go, and this was his last assignment.
Oh gosh.
know.
Oh wow.
So
Oh
so
gosh.
basically they found out that so many people died from just hitting the water at that
Yes.
velocity,
Yes.
which was terrifying because when I was reading it, I was like, oh my God, like, did they know what was happening? And then this was also the person that she's talking with is this injury analyst. And I was like, how do you get this job?
that's
Like, it was just
Mhm.
so interesting to me. But he kind of reassured us all that like you know, when you're in these quick traumatic, because this is like seconds that this is all happening,
Yes.
and that your body just like everyone that he's talked to that has survived something like this is you are just in this euphoric state. And
Yes. Yeah.
somebody like I was in a rollover car accident, and I totally agree. Like when we were rolling, it was like I would that's exactly how I would describe it. It's like
Okay.
euphoric. You don't really know what is happening like unless you come out of it and can put it together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Your
Right.
like bodily system is so cool because it does protect you. Like it's
Right.
like your brain, the
Yes.
first thing it's going
Yes.
to do is protect you.
Yeah.
But just you do have a shot at surviving
Yes.
if you do a feet first, and if you can go up to about 70 miles per hour hitting the water.
Yeah. And because it says however many miles, is that 5 miles above the
Yeah.
water?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah. But these people were
you're going
going
to be lower than 5 miles in an airplane.
these people were going 120 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So
It made me like maybe I should bring a parachute. Because what if some of them,
When are you getting out of there?
I mean, if
but they said
it's
most of the accidents happen during takeoff or landing.
yeah,
Most of them. And most of them are because they can't get the emergency exits
yeah,
open.
and that there's a fire.
Yes, fire because of the burning of the upholstery makes it toxic.
Yeah.
And then So can I talk about the seatbelts?
Well, wait, because that was you were talking about earlier how being a man is how you
Yes.
survive. Okay.
Yes.
So when I read that,
Mhm.
I I had the girls in the car and I was like, "Listen, I have to tell you this." And I was like, "I know that I have taught you to be polite and have manners,
Yes.
but like this," and I said exactly like this is how you survive like in a scary situation. All of that
Get
goes out the
out.
window. You need to channel being a man and push everybody out. And then Ellie goes, "Wow, mom, you could have just said be a really strong woman." And I'm like, "Okay."
Okay, maybe you guys aren't as polite as I thought.
Yeah.
So my favorite murder, they have a thing they say fuck politeness, and
Oh,
that's how
yes.
you like
Yeah. Yes.
survive a lot, especially like if you're walking down the street and it's kind of creepy and there's a man coming towards you,
Yeah.
and we're so taught to be like, hey, how's it, or like,
Yeah.
smile or whatever. But if you get a weird feeling, just cross the street. It doesn't matter. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
who cares? You'll never see them again, probably. And if you do, be like, oh, I thought you were creepy.
Yeah.
Who cares? So,
Okay.
yeah. But
I-
the one case is if you are like getting like held
Oh,
up or
yeah.
something, maybe don't be like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, here, take my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that is such a fine line, and why do you have to figure that out? I mean, because I did just read an article in Runner's World about, a woman running at night and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do we have to protect ourselves?
Why is it on us to figure out how to
Yes.
protect
Yeah.
ourselves?
Yeah.
when,
Like she
there's a
said,
problem.
yes.
It's
Like,
similar to
yes.
list of suspicious things.
Yes.
Women had a curfew with
Exactly.
men were doing the thing.
That's exactly what I thought about when I was reading.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the thing you wanted to say, Mom?
Okay, the whole thing about the seatbelts. And so we had cars in here and we had the planes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see buses. No, I didn't finish the book. But do they bring in buses at all?
No, they don't
Okay.
talk about every transportation.
Okay. Well, because the big thing with buses is there's no seatbelts on
Oh,
buses.
yes, yeah.
Okay. And so anyways,
Well, sorry, I just to interrupt one
Like
thing.
city buses.
Okay, because I was going to say that one thing that they clarify with the car crashing one is that they never use child human
Yes.
cadavers
Yes.
for like any crash testing. So
Yeah.
like you have to get very, very special permission for anything with child.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So that's a good point too. So anyways, to quantify the benefit side of the equation, a dollar amount is assigned to each saved human life. So they figure you're worth about $2.7 million per person. Okay. So let's see. The shoulder harness, the agency would say, all right, if you're going to save 15 lives over the next 20 years by putting in shoulder straps, that's 15 times $2 million. That's 30 million. The industry comes back and says it's going to cost us 669 million to put the things in. So goodbye shoulder straps. It's all a money issue. It's costs more money to put the shoulder straps in than to pay out for the loss of your life.
Oh my gosh.
So
You
yeah.
guys are terrible.
So it says, why doesn't the FAA then come back and say tough tiddlywinks? That's why I think she's so funny. You're putting them in anyways. For the same reason, it took 15 years for the government to begin requiring airbags in cars. The regulatory agencies have no teeth. So,
Yeah, and then there's people that don't even wear it anyway. Do you know
Oh
what I'm
my
saying?
gosh.
So let's
not
say,
too many though.
well, but I'm
I
saying
don't
like
know.
the
More than you think.
buses, if
The
they're,
buses,
who
so
would wear them?
when I was a bus driver, I saw
Bus, yeah.
the
School
school bus driver. I saw videos where they were telling us it was safer not to have
Yeah.
seatbelts in the bus, especially in
Yeah.
rollover. And but to me, now that I'm much older, like I was like, oh, it's safer not to have seatbelts. Well, now I'm wondering, and that's why the seats are taller on school buses, so that the kids hit their heads like in the seat in front of them versus.
No, I used to do that all the time. You were I'm not going there. Just for fun.
So, but I don't see if a shoulder harness and a seat and a lap belt is safer in a car and in a plane, then why isn't it in the school bus? Also, I must say, in first class in those pods, they do have
Oh, that's disgusting.
They're worth more.
yes.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just
that
in
makes me
the
mad.
so
I mean, I do think that there has been a lot of research with the school buses and everything. I think part of it is because there's usually only one adult on the bus and all
Yeah.
of those kids, and they can't get out of it. And so I think that's part of it. In the epilogue, she talks about how now with like self-driving cars, they're having to figure out like people aren't sitting straight forward in the position. So they have to figure out like, okay, if somebody's facing away from the,
Yeah.
facing,
direction you're going.
yeah, and sitting in a circle and having coffee, like how.
Well, they used to have those cars.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I saw a meme and someone was like, I would have got smacked so hard if my mom had access to a seat like this, because the seat would just turn around the passenger seat
Yeah.
and then
Oh yeah.
All right. So yeah, I did like that chapter with the airplane, even though it was sad and also makes me not want to fly anytime soon.
I mean, we don't want to fly anyway. I don't think there's anything we could ever read that could be like, I feel great now in the air. Like, I think that's just stuck in our brain. I love being on the ground.
Okay, so next one was the cadaver who joined the army. We probably won't spend too much time on this one, I feel like, but the sticky ethics of bullets and bombs. So that kind of talks
that
about.
one was interesting. Getting shot.
Well, that one, I
Right?
was kind of surprised because I feel like I was expecting they were going to be testing for making more lethal stuff, but it was the opposite.
Yes.
Yeah, they were testing of like
agree.
how to make things safer.
Stop.
Yeah, it's more
just
about like
stop 'em.
stopping.
Yeah.
Stopping the body. And then I did look up, because one thing I thought was interesting how they were trying to find the right footwear for soldiers in a minefield.
Yes.
And one of the problems they had was that the average age of a cadaver is 60, and the average age of a soldier in a minefield is in the 20s, like early 20s.
Yeah.
But I did look up the boot that they found was the most effective is like a spider boot, and it looks like what it sounds like. It like sits up from the ground, like
really?
like almost on stilts, but it looks like a spider. And so that was interesting.
Okay.
That's like kind of camp.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means, Mom? Camp?
Cool.
It is, it's the most taboo of cadaver research,
Which I've
is bomb testing.
Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you heard, hey, Auntie whatever is gonna go get bomb tested on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would feel kind of sad.
Yeah.
To think about that.
We
But that's
do
why I think it's
learn.
just like, I wouldn't want to know.
Well, you wouldn't know.
No,
Or you wouldn't want to know
yeah.
what your family member. Okay.
I would want to, I think I would want to know, like, not exactly what they did, but how they bettered. Like, how they bettered the research.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. We learned that in this one, because they talk about because they have artificially developed replacements for cadavers. Those are like $5,000. Yes, but that's $5,000 versus a human cadaver is $500. So it actually makes more economic sense. Anything else with that chapter, ladies?
No,
I don't think so.
All right. Holy cadaver. Do you guys don't know anything from this chapter?
I
Did you
read
read that
this
one?
one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. In fact, I talked to Bob about it.
Oh,
Yeah, because
what
of
did
the
you tell
Shroud
them?
of Turin.
Yes.
Yes. So, and he was interested to know, if they thought it was blood or not blood, and
Yeah.
so it still seems like quite a mystery. But we talked a lot about that guy who has the crucifix in his house, and people would pay him to hang from the crucifix.
Yes. I remember listening to this part because I was like cleaning and I was like, "These." She said something about like you would never guess that people would do this, and I was like, "No, I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it."
Yeah. And except that one girl actually wanted the nail.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I could.
But he said she had piercings all over
Yeah.
too. So it'd be
Well, it was, I
piercing.
looked up the group that she mentioned,
Okay.
because I thought if it was an organized religion, I'm like, why haven't we gotten a cult documentary on this group that wants to have
I've seen every cult
Yeah.
documentary.
But it's basically just an unorganized group of people that do like the plates in the face are
Oh,
with
okay.
the
Yeah,
lip,
yeah.
how that's a big plate.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
it's just like more kind of mutilation
Mom's
stuff.
like worst
Yeah,
nightmare.
like
Yeah.
splitting the tongue in two.
Oh, yeah.
But to each their own, I guess.
Yeah.
There's like there's also like shows where people will like there's one the girl had like a piercing in her back and then she got hooked up to something and was doing like aerial stuff. That's so crazy.
I have a
Gross.
feeling it would just yank out.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah, so
This or well.
this whole chapter was just basically trying to determine whether or how Jesus was attached to the cross, based on the markings left on the fabric that was covering him. And yeah, it's still kind of
Still
like I
very
said,
controversial.
yeah. Yeah. So
We get a little trouble with that word.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
okay, so next is how to know if you're dead, defining death in the soul. This was the chapter where I did actually cry.
You cried?
Yeah.
Why? At what part?
When
Are you gonna cry again?
I'm trying not to, but I'm a
Thank
big
God.
baby. It was just like the whole time she's following a cadaver who's donating organs.
Mhm.
And then at the end she said, hold on, I gotta find it. In the end, H, which is the cadaver, makes 3 people well again. And then in quotes, she said, H has no heart, but heartless is the last thing you'd call her. I'm sorry, okay? Stop laughing.
No, I remember that
You're
line.
so mean. Anyway, you're so mean.
I'm not mean, it's just funny.
Okay.
No, I mean I cry at Grey's Anatomy,
Yeah.
and like they get the heart and stuff.
I
But
know. I
like,
don't know why, like when I get like emotional in a book and then I try to talk about it, it's like I can't.
it's like real life.
Yeah. But
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
So I was kind of surprised that because they were talking about Dr. Oz in here.
oh, I must have missed
Oh,
Dr.
that's
Oz.
surprising.
He's in that
Not
part.
a real doctor.
No, he is.
Oh,
Well, I don't know that he has all of the licenses anymore, like a practicing license.
But he
He
must have
used to
been.
be more popular then.
yeah.
Yeah.
More
I mean, I
respected.
used to really
Yeah.
follow him quite a bit. And
I just heard him say some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Well, now we know, but
yeah. So he was a transplant surgeon. So I think that's how she got in touch with him, because he was like a heart transplant
Yeah.
surgeon.
And now he just comments on everything, which is
yeah.
outside his scope of practice.
Yeah. So yeah, we talk about the history of the argument of like where the soul resides, if it's in the heart and the brain. Some groups have thought it was in the spleen and the liver, and
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
yeah.
I always think of I took a world religions class,
Yes, I did too.
and well, it's not about you. And like the teacup, where does the tea go after the teacup breaks? And it just like it's somewhere else to go. It was talking about reincarnation
Oh,
and
interesting.
stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know where the soul goes. It goes in music, I guess.
Well, they talk about how like when you're defined as legally dead, and how that came about was like there was somebody in the 70s who killed a man, but he was like brain dead, and then the doctor stopped his heart. And so that was kind of how that argument came to be. And so now if you are brain dead, you are legally dead. So
So
that's why the beating heart cadaver, they were
yes,
brain dead,
yes.
but their organs were viable. So like they're still considered a cadaver. And now they don't use that term anymore. I forgot what they use, but
And I think they actually used it on the pit the other day.
I'm so sad that the pit is over
oh,
for
I
the
haven't, I'm
season.
not caught up.
I am. I'm about
I
to
am
watch
too.
it again.
Oh.
But
So sad.
in this, in the one with the embalming and stuff, because I was telling Grandma and Grandpa about the one who proved that because he ended up suing the embalming company because they had said it would last forever.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy was strange.
Yeah.
Because he would go every 6 months on his lunch break.
So yeah.
His mom was in a mausoleum. He would open her up and have lunch with her. And then there was an extremely wet spring.
Oh yeah.
And the mom had mold growing on her, and so he
That's
sued.
so creepy.
Yeah, he won $25,000.
It reminds me of God, I can't think of what short story or book it was, but it's a quote I think about a lot, and it says if you live in the past, you live in a world of death and despair because you're just like you're having lunch with a dead body.
Yes, yes.
You know, like at some point you need to move away from their grave so that you don't get stuck in there kind of thing. Like you can go visit and stuff, but like, to be with the actual dead body is a little strange.
Yes.
One part that I thought was funny in this chapter was they talk about cellular memory, and when you do transplants,
Oh my God.
the recipients claiming that they've taken on personality traits.
There's been movies with that,
yeah.
like Minnie Driver was in that movie.
Remember Me or something.
Yeah.
No, Remember Me is
Oh, wait.
that's the 9/11 one that they didn't tell anyone it was a 9/11 movie.
Oh.
And then like a bunch of people went to go see it, and it was like a shock at the end.
wow.
And it was like not that
Oh,
long
I
after.
remember that one.
Yeah, because people were real
Yeah.
mad. Which
I
is
think the
understandable.
Minnie Driver one, it must have had heart in it.
Yeah.
So this is, I've laughed out loud literally with this. Okay. because the recipient, somebody was doing some study to determine whether or not this was actually happening. And this recipient was claiming that they see a young Black woman in the mirror and that they taste French fries. And so the doctor, this alarmed the doctor. So he like went and checked to see information on the donor, and it was an old white guy.
Oh gosh.
It's so funny.
Gosh.
So yeah, that's pretty.
Oh, that's funny.
Now, there was a chapter where someone was trying to move a brain.
Yes, that's probably the
like
next one.
towards the
Just ahead. That's
okay.
the next one, I think.
Okay.
That
Can
one was
we-
gross.
That one was Get Out.
Yes.
That one,
Oh,
I
gosh.
just kept
Oh,
thinking of
gosh.
Get Out and like,
Oh, it's
That
a good thing I didn't get to that chapter.
Yeah, that was when I think things started to get
that one I was just like so creepy. That and then all of the like animal stuff, I
Yes.
just couldn't deal. It was
Yeah.
really hard for me to listen to. It was like all the experiments on animals and stuff.
Throughout the whole book, really, because
Yeah.
they always seem to start with the animals, and they got quite
Crazy.
involved with them. And I was just like, how is nobody complaining about this? Like what they
They
were
don't
doing.
know. Like they
to-
didn't have to tell everybody
Yeah.
everything.
First of all, I thought when they said like this product is not tested on animals, like I thought they were just putting the like lipstick on the animals and like seeing how it looked. So like that's like what that's what I thought what was happening. I thought they were doing their face.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were like torturing them until I saw
it's-
Legally
Yeah.
Blonde.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
It was like So the just ahead, I don't think we need to spend like a ton of time like going over all of the crazy experiments.
I would say if you're going to read this and you love dogs, do not read that chapter.
Yeah. Yeah, because they talk about using dogs in experiments like to the extreme.
Yeah.
Basically to see, and monkeys, like
Yeah.
whether a full head can be transplanted into a body, which is what they would like to do and are still discussing it in the medical communities for like quadriplegics. To
that's
transplant the head,
crazy.
they'll still be paralyzed, but they'll have a longer life.
I can't think of that one.
I know. It's very like
I would not want to.
Frankenstein.
I would not want my head to be trans. I
No.
would be fine just laying there. Remember, me
Yeah.
laying in the ground.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, but okay, so
Mommy looks.
I know. Okay, so this is like
Mom's not finishing this
because
book.
I would say you don't need to read. We're gonna talk about it, so
Yeah. But you can still put it on your Goodreads.
yeah,
You read it.
yeah. Because so I think that the more interesting thing from this chapter is that they talk about the guillotine.
Oh
and
yeah,
they-
that was crazy.
The thing that's funny, I think, is that the Dr. Guillotine, he didn't invent the guillotine, but he lobbied for it because he thought it was like a
More
nicer
humane.
way, more humane
Yeah.
way to die. And then he found out it isn't, and he was like, "No, I take it back." And now it's like we know it is the
Yeah,
guillotine.
yeah, that sucks.
So basically they have done studies to determine that your brain is still conscious.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only a handful of seconds, but and I'm sure that you don't really know what's happening, but that your brain is responsive to outside stimuli after.
You're like, oh shoot.
You're like, am I
Okay.
still alive?
It's like, well, I'm not coming back from this one.
Yeah. Oh, this was also I wrote down that so they were doing all of these testing to figure this out. Okay. The stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
And so obviously the best subjects are the people that are recently, chopped the criminals. And the one guy comes to this doctor's house and he has a tattoo on his body that says his name. Okay. But then he also has a tattoo of just his own head, like without a body on his body, which is like just funny. Kind of. He got his head chopped off, and this is like a long time ago. So it's like
Yeah.
crazy that it's almost like a premonition he had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, so the next one also we probably don't need to talk a lot on because I was kind of like, "Bleh, bleh."
Oh God.
This was the Eat Me, medicinal cannibalism in the case of human dumplings. So basically, a lot of this is how they, especially in Chinese medicine, they used human things to treat diseases at like the apothecaries and stuff. Oh wait, I think I missed the part where we had a reference to no, it's in this chapter. Okay, sorry. When we talk about Me Before You,
Yes.
Dr. Death is in that. Okay, remember not you're thinking of the guy. Dr. Death, Jack
Kevorkian.
Yes. So he was the one that like
Assisted suicide.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know which one.
Yeah.
And I thought of that when this was brought up. I
Yeah.
was like, Dr. Death.
Right.
And if I knew when this came out, I would have been like, there's no way. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So he was also referenced in this book because he would take human cadavers. So people that recently died, he would take their blood and put it in living bodies and didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell the family of the cadavers, didn't tell the people that were receiving it. It was just like by that point there had been like all of this research in the Soviet Union that showed that it was like fine to do apparently, and he just kind of took it upon himself to be like, sure, why do people don't need to know? They would be grossed out. And so
But why would you take blood from a dead person and put it in a live person?
Like donating blood.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Like a blood
'Cause I was-
transfusion.
I'm guessing the way he probably like put them to sleep and then like killed them, you think? Or
No,
what?
he didn't kill anybody.
He's Dr. Death.
He's
His sister suicide.
yeah, he got that name because
You're still killing them, no?
but that was
You're giving
later.
them the medicine to do it themselves.
Yeah, and also that was later. This is
Yeah.
like before that all happened.
Oh, before it happened. Okay.
So he was
Yeah, I don't
he was
know.
breaking the rules. Yeah, so I thought it was interesting they talk about how people would in Arabia in their 70s and 80s, people would volunteer to basically they're like, all right, that's enough of life for me. And they would eat only honey for a few days.
Okay.
And then they would die, but like at some point then they're only like peeing and everything honey. And then they go into a tomb of honey, and then after 100 years they're um taken out,
Consumed.
and yeah, it's used for like medicinal purposes.
What's
They
all
call
the
it the
honey?
mellified man.
What's all the honey got to do with any? What's
It must do something.
okay?
But I mean, honey does have antibiotic
I
properties.
do know, yeah, that
Yeah.
it's
So
Very good for you.
yeah.
so
And burns.
Oh, yeah.
Land in the pit.
Oh,
Right?
I haven't gotten
Yes.
it talks about like all the different disgusting ways that like people were given like feces for different ailments, and a
All
lot
I
of
can
them
think
was
of
like,
is the help.
oh yeah, yeah, it's chocolate pie. Yeah, or like a lot of them was so like gross stuff and just to heal a bruise.
Yeah.
And so then people would be like, "Oh, it's gone."
Uh,
It's just a bruise.
Yeah.
But anyway, it talks about how it's just very like, cultural to like your comfort level of it, and like us as a culture, a lot of people eat their placentas, and they
Yeah.
not a lot. I don't think a lot.
Well, there's a
It's
lot of different
normalized.
ways to do it
Yeah.
now. Like you could just do it as a pill.
or a smoothie.
Oh God, I
Yeah,
couldn't do
no.
a smoothie.
But it's definitely more normalized.
It is.
Like people, especially in California, I feel like
especially that it helps with like the postpartum depression and stuff. Like
it's
that's
supposed to. I didn't eat my placenta.
I think I dealt with the depression instead.
well, you had the baby in one hand, a cigarette in the other as soon as it was out. So
Yeah.
I think you had your cigarette to help.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but
yeah, I think
it's
that's
very-
interesting.
Yeah,
that
because
it's
like
supposed to help.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, and like even today, like in China, it's still like it's not as taboo to use like breast milk, that's not your own for like a lot of things, or like dried urine, I guess they like stuff like that. So I think it is very kind of dependent on
Yeah.
the culture. And the thing with the dumplings is that she talks about this story where a lot of bad stories of people that work in crematoriums, which I guess I could see, but this brother that would basically chop off some of the meat of a person before putting them in the fire and give the meat to his brother who owned a restaurant, and they would like put them in dumplings and say that they were from the Huns, like so people would be like, because I was like their enemy, so they would eat the Hun dumplings. But in the end, she tried to verify it and couldn't. Nobody ever
Yeah.
okay. So
it could be an urban.
yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So, and now basically the last chapter before the author talks about what she wants to do is composting. So they talk about there's a company in Sweden where they basically freeze dry you like a Skittle, like freeze. Yeah.
Do you pop?
And then they shake you, and then you shatter, and then they take all of those pieces with like composting things, and you go back into the earth, and it's all about renewal. And now since then it's becoming more legalized in the United States. It's a different process here. It's more similar to just like natural
Decomposition.
yeah, like like a compost bin, like a more natural way to do it.
Well, do you remember hearing about those
The trees?
the coffins that were made? You could have them made in a spaceship or
Oh
a
no.
bus or whatever, and then those would all break down along with you.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like an eco.
Yeah. So you could Because from what I understood, embalming is very bad for the land.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
so is cremating, which is why like
Oh, really? I didn't realize
it's
that
really
was.
bad for the environment,
I
which
did
is
not
why
know that.
yeah, they're trying to move towards like more natural ways. Like composting is actually good for the environment. And so it's
The other thing I just
difference. Oh, because you sure like and you don't like fire.
because first of all, for a crematorium, you have to have the fire going at all times. And
Oh,
so that's
okay.
constantly going up into the
I didn't know
atmosphere.
you had.
Yeah, and the composting, you're not like putting stuff into
So the
it's just like
crematorium
naturally
that we
breaking down.
had at the animal vet place that I worked at, that wasn't going all the
It
time.
probably didn't have to be as hot as a human one. And like
like
they
a fire-
say you can turn it off, but it's worse for the actual furnace to like it's not going to last as long to keep firing it up and so you
Now,
just
somebody just told me, because I've been talking about this book to so
Mhm.
many different people, and they were saying that somebody they know was going to be cremated, but there's a new cremation where it's with water.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. They talk about that too. And it's not just water. It's like a not an acid, but there's something else with the water that breaks you down, basically just like makes you all water except for your bones. Um and then I don't know what happens after that. But yeah, that's another thing that's gaining popularity. But um I saw like Minnesota has it's legal for the composting, human
Okay.
composting. And a lot of like the West Coast, a couple of the southern states.
So now, if you're composted, can you decide where your compost goes?
Yes. So there's a couple options.
I want a tree.
Yes. Okay, so wait, this is because this company that's doing it basically takes 2 months. So like you give them the body and then you have 2 months to however you want to, you can do a celebration of life, like whatever you want to do in those 2 months. But you can also, the actual place is beautiful.
Mm.
So you can come in and visit the station where your loved one is like composting if you want to.
Okay.
I don't know. Or you can just come back when they say it's ready and you literally get like a truckload of dirt. And then you can either, if that's what you want, is to take that and to plant it in your garden. Because like this one lady was saying how her mom loved this certain type of flower. And so she put it in her garden, but then she also had so much that she gave everybody like a potted plant with the bulb and that flower. And so it's like their own little whatever moment.
I
That
do
would be a little
remember.
creepy.
I do
Only because I would kill it.
Not a second death.
I always remember one of the ladies I worked with down in Bloomington. She had said that her husband was in the garden, and we were like, because we knew he had passed away.
Oh, no.
We were like, oh my gosh. But that's what it was. He had actually been cremated, and
She put the
I thought she had buried her husband in the garden. I thought it was like a,
Oh no.
like practical magic.
Or so yeah, or you can they have their own like private kind of forest
Oh, cute.
area that you can.
and now is that just in Minnesota, or is that?
It started in Seattle, this company,
Oh, okay.
and now it looks like basically as they expand to other states, they're like creating the legislation to allow them to. So I just thought that the
Cool.
closest one was Minnesota.
I think that,
Yeah, I would
I
like
think
that.
it's,
That's what I was like, that's what
I still want a tombstone though.
I feel like that's what like because I've always wanted somewhere to go. Like I feel like,
Yes.
oh, my kids maybe they would need
Yeah.
somewhere to
Yes.
go to like
Yes.
talk to me. And I
Yes.
feel like if there was a pretty garden or a pretty tree, you know,
And a
unless lightning
tombstone.
hit me or something.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that'd be so funny. Like, could you imagine?
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, the last chapter is what the author would do. And she talks about basically she's a huge supporter of organ donation. She would want to donate her body to science, but she knows her husband is very squeamish. So she says if she goes first, he can do whatever he wants. She thinks you need to care. The people that really matter are the living ones.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's what she
wonderful.
said. I remember.
Yeah. So
I forgot you haven't finished it. I was like, Mom.
yeah. So but then like if he goes first, then she would donate their body to science. But
to the bomb squad.
no, she would want to be in an anatomy class. So now in the epilogue, so I want to read this before I
Yes.
ask you guys what you want to do. She said when you donate your body to science that you can write a letter to whoever the recipient, so they kind of have a piece of who you were.
Okay.
And so she wrote her letter, and I really liked
Oh,
it.
wow.
And hopefully it's not too long. Okay. Hello there. Pardon my appearance. I have a pretty good sense of how I must look because I spent some time around cadavers for a book I wrote. I thought I'd share a little background from the pale form with which you'll soon be intimately acquainted. At 61, as I write this,
Oh.
all my organs seem to be working fine. Who knows which ones will one day betray me? That's for you to discover. I was always pretty scrawny. I once won first prize in a knobby knee contest. My right knee invariably, and for no discernible reason, sets off airport metal detectors. Have a look, will you? Perhaps aliens implanted something without my knowledge. I'm kidding there. When you open up my brain, you won't find any gray matter devoted to UFOs or astrology or conspiracy theories. Just facts and memories, insecurities, and everyday anxieties. And the lyrics to every pop hit and television theme song from the 1970s. My feet served me well and without complaint. I rarely wore heels and hope no one feels they have to anymore. I disagree with that one. Ugh. They wandered around on tundra moss and lava beds, on the hard snow of an Antarctic ice field, the command deck of a ballistic missile submarine, the worn linoleum of obscure and far-flung research labs. I logged millions of miles with this body, and I hope you do the same with yours. The world is astonishing.
Cute.
Oh, I
Yeah.
really like that. So, first of all, I think it shows her humor in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so that means she's in her 80s because I didn't realize she was 61 when she wrote
Yeah.
this.
Well, that's a new epilogue, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
that,
but she said, as I
yeah, so
read.
the epilogue she wrote so that would have been 2021.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I
I'm
thought
familiar
she
with
wrote
that.
the book at 61. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, the big question. What do you want to do with your body? Even though we know you guys will live forever.
Right,
In my
exactly.
mind, but
I'll
do you
find David
have
Salvatore.
yeah.
Major vampire.
Do you have any thoughts? And also, did this book maybe open your mind to different possibilities?
I want to be a tree.
No more laying in the sun in a field in Carbondale, Illinois.
I would do either. Could you become compost after you do all the sciencey shit? Decide not to.
Depends on
I
what
wonder.
happens if you're blown to bits. It's
Well, I
just
mean,
rare.
I think
Find the bits. Oh, but what if I can mix with other bits?
I wonder if you can, because I know that you can be like cremated after, so I can't imagine like what's the difference between, because basically when you donate your body to science, you can say what you want them to do after.
Mm.
I don't know that like returning and having a burial and like an open casket.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
if that's but maybe you could. They're really giving the sorry. As you would send it to a crematorium, I would imagine you could send it to like
Yeah.
a composting type place. That would be ideal, I feel like, for me.
Yeah. I really want to be, I would really like to be a tree. That's what I would like.
A
So
tree
that,
with flowers.
yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely like the minute I got my driver's license, I checked that I wanted to be an organ donor.
Yeah, I have that check
Yeah,
too.
so-
Even though mom tries to always sway us.
I don't have that checked, but it comes like with the pit, because
Mm.
this woman has a belief and it kind of backfires, and now she got in bad shape. The pregnant one.
Okay, well,
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I was laughing that whole time because I was just like, what a dumbass. You need to catch up.
Yeah.
It's similar to like me laughing at her crying.
Yeah.
That I guess I probably shouldn't have laughed at her, but it's like this girl, she's like, Oh, can I spoil it for you a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so she
For the podcast.
yeah, she really wants to have she didn't say natural birth. She just she
Called a wild.
a wild pregnancy. She wanted a wild pregnancy.
Who wants a wild pregnancy?
Because women have
No
been doing it.
doctors.
Yeah, no midwives.
Yesteryear.
Yes.
No midwives.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nothing. And she keeps saying it, and they're like, you're literally gonna go, like, you're gonna have a seizure, you're gonna die, like, bad stuff can happen. And she's like, I want a wild pregnancy. And then
And they
what do
were
you say?
saying, well, why did you come in here then?
Yeah.
She said, because I want my headache to go away. She had a headache for like,
Yeah.
She had high blood pressure.
well, that's preeclampsia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's high blood pressure.
Oh, is it?
I thought it was, is that high or low?
High.
High?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, she had that, and then I don't remember
You
what
know,
happened to her,
she
but
stroked
she
out.
started like sneezing and
really
stuff,
bad.
and
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
here's your wild birth.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah, that was good. What would you want to do?
Yeah, I think I would want to donate my organs, donate my body to science, and then if I could but I would only want to do the donating the body to science if I could do the composting because I really like the idea. You know,
Yeah.
it's funny because we for some reason our family is a little strange, but we love cemeteries.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I've always loved the
Here I get
cemetery.
so excited.
Yes, I love a cemetery. But I've said so many times that I wish that I could have a place that was like a cemetery, but it was a garden or something where a tree is like the ash. I was thinking ashes at that time, but it would be like this is so and so's tree, this is so and so's bench,
Yeah,
and
like a little
this.
plaque.
Yeah, so then it was almost like botanical gardens, but
Yeah.
for loved ones that you could visit. And that's kind of what this whole idea is.
I like that.
Yeah. And I like the idea of renewal instead
Yes.
of death and
Well, and like I've always kind of worried about the embalming leaching into the ground, but now they put them in those cement things. But
well, and also like I mean, I know we're ready to move on to what we're reading and stuff, but there was one thing that was noted in this book about how when you're buried after in certain countries and also they do this in the United States, but I don't know exactly how many years, but like in another country they were talking about Sweden because it was
okay.
Anyway, after 25 years, they dig you up
Okay.
and they dig a deeper hole and then they put somebody on top of you.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
So my grandpa is buried like on top of his sister. So, and that had to do with money because it
Right.
was
Yes.
cheaper. You got
Yes.
one blood, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, and it's like at what point are they like, okay, is anyone else around visiting this guy? Like
Yeah.
that's so it just seems
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
I did want to say, but I'm not going to say who, but I do know one person who donated their body to science.
Oh.
Who?
Okay. Well, but you haven't said what you would want to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's too heavy of a subject for Sunday. I mean, I go back and forth with what I want to do, but I definitely would want a spot.
Yeah.
And maybe that comes from wanting to belong, you know. So I definitely want to
belong in the cemetery. I think that's the last place any of us want to belong. That's in the cemetery.
People are dying to get in.
Well, I think because of like her whole thing with what am I, chopped liver? Like I think she doesn't want people to just like forget about her.
Yeah.
Probably. So like if she had a spot that we could like go to and like
Yeah.
hang quilts over there or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, Tom, his brother got cremated. And Tom always thought he wanted to be cremated. And I think that whole experience made him like not like because it's like it just felt like so much of a business, like get him in, get him out, get him in, and he just felt like it was really it just gave him the ick, I think.
Yeah.
Well, and then you get this box. So then you got to kind of carry them around with you.
Yeah.
and then or throw them somewhere,
Although there's like rules with that, and like
totally.
Catholics are supposed to bury even the ashes.
Okay.
Yeah, we can be done talking about death.
Yeah.
So let's.
But what did you think about the book?
Oh yeah, overall, what are we thinking? How many bites of a cookie would we give it?
I.
It's got to be a dry cookie, so the dead.
Oh my God.
Oh, good lordy.
Personally, because I'm like fascinated by stuff like this, I would give it 5 cookies. I mean,
5.
5 bites. No,
So it's
cookie.
5 bites the whole cookie. Okay, whole cookie. Because I was like, that's a lot of bites. I feel like that's the whole cookie.
Oh, that's
my
funny.
gosh.
Okay, 2 bites for Steph. I just didn't connect with it.
Okay.
And like, I just,
Fair.
the stuff with the dogs really just like
Yeah.
traumatized me. I don't think I could. Like, I would never read this again because the dogs was just too, it was too sad and too like, I don't know. I just like could picture it all. So I think if the dog part and like all those experiments weren't in it, then I would probably give it like 3 bites. But because of that, it traumatized me. So
And I think I would give it 4 bites because I thought it was very interesting. I've been talking a lot about it, which I really love, but it's not like I disappeared in the book. And I think I need that for a full cookie.
yeah.
But it felt like it was another assignment versus just sitting and reading it. But I did find it extremely interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to talk about a book that we.
Okay, yes. What are we doing?
Yeah, a book that we finished, a book that we are currently reading, and a book on our TBR.
Okay.
You start.
Okay.
Who's you? Her?
Yeah.
A book that I finished reading is Judge Stone.
Yes.
I listened to the Audible, which is read by Viola Davis, and it is amazing. I saw an interview where she talks about the idea of this being like a limited series starring her, and I think that would be perfect because I pictured her as the main character the whole time.
Yes.
Really, really love this.
How many bites?
Oh, 4 bites.
Nice. Rapid fire.
Yes. Currently reading, almost finished.
Oh, wow.
We might be at the same spot.
Yeah, I wonder. Let me check. I'm 3 chapters behind you. So I'm currently reading Yesteryear.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good. Basically, a trad wife influencer is then living her life in the actual yesteryear, and it's fun and diabolical kind of like yeah, really liking that. And then on my TBR, funny enough, is Mary Roach, the author of this book Stiff. She in 2025 she wrote a book called The Replaceable You, and it's all about all of the advances that they've made with transplants and all of the technology. And so
you're really into this transplant.
Well, also, I'm just like, there's gonna be so much like about the experiments in there, probably.
I hope not, but
My turn?
yep.
Okay, I just finished, well, not just, but I did finish I Who Have Never Known Men. I read it on Kindle, so I don't have a physical copy, but I would eat the whole cookie. It was so good. I really loved it and like a super fast read. And then I am also currently reading Yesteryear, Trad Wife, Get Stuck in Yesteryear. And she's like, oh shit, maybe I don't like these. What's happening here? So yeah, I'm almost done with that one as well. And then on my TBR, because we are going on a road trip soon, and this is a thick boy, so I think I'm gonna do this book. It's Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. She is the author of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I loved her writing for that one. So you're sunny. So I'm excited to read this one. It's all about vampires. I said that as an paw. Vampires 1532, 1827, 2019. You know? So excited. Thick boy. Lots of pages. Mom? Go.
Okay, so I finished The Life Impossible by Matt Haig, and I was a little disappointed in it because I really liked The Midnight Library that he had written.
Yeah.
And so I didn't connect with that.
How many bites of a cookie?
Half a cookie.
Half a cookie.
So now on my to be read list, I have for the Helen Plum Library Book Club
Okay.
is that book James. You know,
Oh,
the
yeah.
big
With
J.
the big J. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that everywhere. I think
Yeah.
it's good.
So that's for that book club. And then I also picked up Evil Bones, I think is the one that I picked up, and that's for the TV show Bones. It's actually written by a real forensic pathologist or whatever.
Okay.
And so she wrote the books that the series Bones was based on. And so this is the latest installment of that. So I picked that up from the library. And then, of course, I want to read Yesteryear.
Yeah, that one's on your TBR. Well, you can use my book.
Yes, thank you. Well, Mom, in that case, it's time for us to go to Barnes & Noble.
Oh, yeah.
So it's time to push that button. Woohoo! And I don't know what button to push.